Thankful to be here this evening, that God has blessed to be out one more time, Brother BJ, to meet out with each other and get to see each other. And I know Brother Jerry mentioned about, we had the dinner the other day, but I told Patsy going home, I said, you know, whether we raise money or not, it was good just to be together.
Good fellowship.
The fellowship that we have with each other, talking and having a good time. You know, there's not a dollar value that can be put on that. And just being together here and having a good time, it was a great day. And I'm thankful that God has blessed us to be out and about. Maybe we'll pat you down a little bit, but I told her this week she'd been out and about more than she had in a long time, and the Lord has helped her along the way, and we had a good time in doing that. And what a blessed time it'll be when we all get over to the glory land, where everything will be peace and joy. Don't have to worry about no more sickness, Brother BJ. Everything will be well. Brother Jerry made a comment there, and a little thought come to my mind, a little story I read, and it's going to be too late when the Lord comes on the cloud of glory, Brother Jerry, for people to start repenting. But the little story read is a lady come up to a minister and asked, and her son had died, and they asked him, more or less, she was saying he died lost, but maybe the Lord would have mercy upon him. And he asked the question, said, do you pray before you take an exam or after you take the exam, Brother Jerry? And today we need to be praying on this side of the grave, because on the other side of the grave it's too late. And if you don't have Jesus in your life, I would beg to you that you still out and pray and ask Him that He would come into your life and He could lead you along this way. Do you have hard times, Brother BJ? I know we do. We have hard times, but you gotta look at it this way: the good times always outweigh the bad. If you look up and ask God to help you along the way, and look at all the joy and the happiness He's blessed you with through life. The Lord is, He said, I'll never leave you and I'll never forsake you. And what a joy that is when you go through life. I've not sung this song in a long time, but I don't know why it come on my mind, but I was thinking about a lot of different things. She labored so hard in this world below. She didn't have what most mothers know, raising her children on a widow's small pay, washing and ironing since Dad passed away. I want to go to heaven when this life is o'er. I want to see Jesus on eternity's shore. If I've a crown coming when rewards go around, please, blessed Jesus, give Mother my crown. I didn't realize when I was a lad just how great a burden my mother had. Adoption was offered, but Mother said no. She raised us and taught us the right way to go. I want to go to heaven when this life is o'er. I want to see Jesus on eternity's shore. When I've got a crown coming, when rewards go around, please, blessed Jesus, give Mother my crown. Thought about that song, Brother BJ, and what made me think about it was when I was just a little boy, and so many times, Brother Randy, I say this, that Mommy taught us about Jesus. She taught us that good little boys go to the good place and bad little boys go to the bad place. And I thought about that old dad of mine, and Brother Jerry mentioned about the dream that he had, and what a blessing it is, Brother Jerry, when you can dream about them, and and the life that they lived here, and the walks that they walked here, and the talks that they did, and I thought about the song, just thinking about the words in head and the life that my dad lived, and before 7 children that. Brother BJ seemed like times, and Brother Randy, when I didn't think he was able to get up and go, he'd still get up and go. And he traveled all over, seemed like all over Virginia and Kentucky, and he would get out and go to be a witness for the Lord, and especially for the Salisbury Church over there. He would go and try to get the brothers to come in. And I thought about that coming over here, Brother Randy, about need to be out about the Father's business, and maybe if we get out and travel a little more, Brother Jerry. And I thought about Brother Clyde Bentley today, and after I got up, I thought, well, we're over busy Brother Clyde today. But one thing about it, if you got the Lord in your life, let Him lead and guide you as you go through life. And I'm so thankful for so many times that He's helped me through life and the things that come upon us. And Brother Randy, so many times in the past when things would come along, and then Patsy coming up, and she would ask me, say, well, what are we going to do now? And I'm so thankful that I had God in my life, Brother BJ, that I can look over at her and say, don't worry about it. Now, brother, that the Lord will make a way and help us through this, Brother Jerry. What comfort and peace that is to have that in your life. Don't worry about it. The Lord will make a way. It might not be your way, Brother Randy, but He'll make a way. I'm so thankful in the Bible. It says you ought to be content with food and raiment. I'm so thankful, Brother Delbert, that through life He always made sure we had clothes to wear. And He always made sure we had food on the table. If we'd only look up unto Him and let Him lead and guide us through life. And I'm so thankful that I could have turned my life over to Him sooner, Brother Randy. But I'm so thankful I did when I did. That, the Lord came to me and visited me and let me realize hell was going to be my home, Brother BJ, if I didn't turn my life over to Him. Now, what did that make you do, Brother Randy? So many times I've heard you preach about, but things of it is, I knew that I was going to die and go down to the world of lost. What did you do about her? I become a seeker, I become a beggar. I get down on my knees and I ask God, Lord, just help me along this way. Just don't let me die long. I didn't want to die and go down to the devil's hell, but it was me. What took me so long to be able to get into the grace of God. He said today, faith believing, everything's possible.
Amen.
On that day, my blessed companion, she got up and took them 2 little boys to church, and I was home alone. But it come so real that day, Brother Randy. I began down, and I tell this for the glory and honor of God. I got down on my knees there in front of the couch, and I began to beg Him, Brother Randy. And I prayed like this, God, if Patsy comes home and find my wife comes home and find my dead body laid here in the living room floor, and just don't let me die, Lord. But the greatest part about that was, He didn't want to take my life. He wanted to give me life, Brother Randy. And He said, go home. This was the greatest part about it. Go home and tell that friend the good thing that the Lord has done for you. I couldn't wait to get to the church house that evening. Now, Brother Randy, I had something I wanted to tell. I wanted to tell people that the Lord, He comes into my life, and I want to put my light upon the candlestick. But as I sat there and they went to prayer and I had my head bowed down, the old devil said, you don't want to do this, Brother Randy. But I'm far beyond what I realized, Brother BJ. But the church was rejoicing. I didn't understand that. When I raised my eyes up, Brother Jerry, my blessed companion was already in the stand, giving her hand to become a member. That just moved me on out. What joy we've had in our lives. Thought we had love, but when we come off that hill that evening, the love that we had in our car, and them 2 little boys, what love we had. We had somebody that was going to help us through life, help us through hard times and troublesome times. And I'm so thankful that He told me, He said, I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. Wherever you go at in this life, He's always out there with you. And I'm so thankful. Brother Randy, if I get to go anywhere, travel anywhere, I always walk out. The same God we serve here at Antioch Church. If you go to Canada, you go to Texas, you go to California, He's still right there with you, Brother Jerry. He don't leave you when you leave here. He said He dwells down in you. And I thank God for that. That He came into my life and He leads me along the way. And I thank God that whenever I need Him, He said, I'll never leave you or forsake you. Thought, was watching a show today. Thought about the little 3 Hebrew boys, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, and when they stood before the old king, Randy, whether if God will save us and bring us out of the fire, and we're going to serve our God, we're not going to bow down to you. And if He don't save us out of the fire, Brother Randy, we're still going to serve God today. When troubles and heartaches and things come upon you, and as I sat there and I thought about that, when troubles and heartaches, sickness, whether it be cancer, heart attacks, or whatever it may be, I come upon you to have faith in the Lord. Let Him lead you along the way. Have faith if you don't get over the cancer, Brother Randy. Have faith that one day after a while you'll have to worry about cancer no more. Everything will be peace and joy. Over in the glory land. But those 3 little boys, they didn't bow down to the king. He tried to make every way he could to make them a way. But they wouldn't bow down. Oh, Father, my home king, he got mad. He furnace up 7 times harder than normally it needed to be. But you know, the man that actually threw them 3 men in, the fire was so hot, Brother BJ, it threw them in. But you know, the greatest part about it, when you think you're alone, when I said Jesus said He'd go all the way with you, sister, when He got up, He looked in the furnace. I was in there with them 3 little boys, Brother Jerry, old King said, then we throw 3 men in, but I see 4 loose and 1 around. When you think you got troubles, the Lord said, I'll go with you. Just look around. He was always there with you. I tell this so many times, when the Lord come into my life, I've been running out of equipment. I didn't have the fear of dying no more, Brother Randy. I had a joy inside of me. I've been looking for it, Brother Jerry, when I was on that heavy equipment.
Happy on you, Jerry?
I've been looking over on a big rock, just thinking God's angel sitting over there watching after me today. What joy that is to have in your life. Knowing today, if you lay down at night and don't wake in the morning, we're going to wake in a world that holds no end. Peace and joy and happiness forevermore. If you ever think about Daniel being thrown into the den of lions, it wasn't just one lion, just in a den. It was a den of lions. There was lions in there, Brother Jerry. It just wasn't an empty den. There were lions in there. He's talking about the Lord going with you. He was right there. He sent an angel down in there to close up the mouth of them lions. In my mind, in my vision, I looked at him just more or less petting them lions like his little kittens today. God will help you in your trouble whenever you're down and out and have troubles and sorrows. One thing about it, the peace and joy that you can have in life. I talked about that old precious dad of mine, and I thought about when there's a saying there a while ago, I thought about Paul left the stones along the way when they crossed over the river Jordan, and he told him to pick up them stones and pile them up over there, Brother Andy. What was he piled up there for? They piled up for a witness. Mom and Dad, they piled up the stones for a witness. Brother Jerry's daddy piled up stones as a witness. How can he say that? Because I can remember him, Brother Jerry. I can remember your mom and dad being in our home eating dinner with my mom, my dad, my stepmom. But thanks be to God today. Lived your life. We had the 2 little boys. So many times, Brother Andrew Jeremiah was taking him down to Danville, to the Kentucky School for the Deaf, and have to drive down there and drop him off. You talk about breaking your heart when you have to drop your children off and leave them. So many times we'd have to stop, or I'd have to stop and dry the tears up. But the greatest part about it, Brother Randy, I had somebody that would watch over him. We had Christ, ask God. Until this, had something else on my mind. went out, we'd take Jeremiah out, we'd buy him something, we'd buy him a toy or something, Brother Jerry, try to pass the time so maybe he wouldn't cry when we left the school. I remember one day we went out and we bought him a little Bible. This is the greatest part about that. Mommy and Daddy can't be with you, son. But if you take that little Bible, there's somebody in there that'll never leave you or never forsake you. You just read about Jesus in there. And I thank God He still got it today. What great witness that is to be able to raise your children up and tell them about the Lord when you got them in your life. When we come home, after we got saved, returned to our home, our family, we had more love in our house than we ever had before every day. So many times. We've been driving down the mountain parkway and life can't be this way, Brother Randy. Me and my wife have been talking, Brother Curry. We've gone straight stretch. I'm down there where the drag strip is. I thought, wife, what a joy it be today. If the Lord would just open up the highway, we can all four just drive on over into the glory land today. You know, the safety of having your children serve the Lord, or being all home together over there. I know my dad, he had a real bad heart attack, Brother Randy. This was his prayer in life. Lord, let me live long enough to get my children raised and they can be out on their own. You know, today, if you got children, my prayer is, I know Jeremiah walks along this way with me, BJ. But I got my other son. My prayer is, Brother Jerry, that maybe one day after a while, he's going to realize that he's going to die. And if he don't get the Lord in his life, hell's going to be his home. And I believe he knows that today. I've got them little granddaughters and them little grandsons. I want to live a life in front of them that maybe one day after a while they can see Jesus and want to turn to them. Does your life mean anything? Now shortly get out of your way. Your life's a witness to your kids, to your family today, to your loved ones, your neighbors today. People watch you as you go through life. Does your life mean anything? It means everything in the world, especially to your children and your family and your neighbors. You know, today as I got up here and I said a while ago, I beg to you, if you don't have Jesus in your life, still out and pray and ask Him to come in there and let Him help you along this way. That one day after a while. Another little story and I'll sit down. Talked about a little shepherd boy and I thought about this song my Brother Jerry sang sometime. When others see a shepherd boy, God may see a king. I'm so thankful when I was lost and undone. People may have thought I wasn't nothing, but God sent something to my Brother Jerry that was worth the word about. I've been on the potter's mold, been working the clay. I thank God that He seen something in me, that He forgive me of my sins, and one day after a while He'll take me home to the glory land. I thank God for that. As we go through life, I'm thankful that He knocked at my heart's door. I wasn't ashamed to get down on my knees and pray and ask Him to come into my life. The joy of having the Lord in your life and making you not ashamed in life. And He straightened me out, Brother BJ. I thank God for that as we go through life. So thankful to be here. If you're here lost and undone, for God's sake, still out in prayer and ask the Lord to come into your life.